Okay, let's get started, good people. Welcome, people of the Daily Bread. My name is We Don't Really Care because this is all about series. You don't need to know who I am. And you don't, okay, well, maybe we'll introduce you guys. But before we introduce you guys, I just want to let everybody know that this is a completely new segment called Side Dish and Sweet Treats, where we are going to dive into sort of like series that that have one season or two seasons out, and we just have to talk about them. Like the series we're going to talk about today, it has to be spoken about. So we're not going to wait for it to get to like 5 seasons just so we can chat about it. No. We're going to chat about it right now. And in the building, I have 2 beautiful Black queens in the building introducing
brown skin,
Hey. Okay, you guys can introduce yourselves, but these are 2 very good friends of mine. We'll start with Buhle, then we'll go to MT. Take it away, Buhle.
Hi, I'm Buhle, like she said. I have nothing more to say.
Welcome, Buhle. And next, who's next?
Oh, next is me. Hi, my name is Mtende.
Mtende, like what does that have to do with
you know?
You stress me out.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Thank you, ladies, for joining me on this episode of The Daily Bread. Today, we are going to talk about none other than Little Fires Everywhere. This series just came out. And listen. First of all, shout out to you, MT, because MT is the one who put me on to Little Fires Everywhere. Shout out to you, girl. We're adding onto hashtag Reese Gang, because Reese with the Spoon is a part of this, and we're just like, next we need to do what's this one? Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies.
We need to do
it's
that.
Needed.
That's also hashtag Reese Gang. So today is all about Little Fires Everywhere. Does anybody just want to give like a quick synopsis to perhaps the people out there who decided they're not going to watch this series or haven't done a good job of watching the series? Who wants to do a quick synopsis? I'm testing you guys.
Okay, it's all you. It's all you.
Oh, I'm pointing at you. Okay. I think it's set in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Set in the 90s?
Yes.
In a small suburban town, a town that has recently tried to reintegrate and diversify. And it's following 2 families. One family is a very well off and very respectable family, and a new family enters this neighborhood, a single Black mom and her daughter. And so we watch and see how they navigate the space, and we learn more about these families. And I think that's the most I can say without spoiling. But why would you be watching this without a spoiler?
Listen, we're about to spoil all the things.
Exactly.
I already warned my people that if you watch this is spoiler central. So if you haven't watched it, this is
shame. It is what it is.
It is what it is. My first question to you guys is, and we'll start with MT. What were your initial thoughts? Like once you finished the series, what were your initial thoughts, your initial reactions to how the series was done?
My initial thoughts after watching the whole thing was that it was done so well. I think the way that you saw individual lives and how they expanded on them and how they all interwove together. I think it made me think about a lot of things. It made me appreciate a lot of things. It made me see Carrie in a different acting role, which is pretty cool. I think it was well done in tackling very complex issues, and the fact that it was based in the 90s but so relevant to today says a lot. So yeah. I think they did it really, really well. I thought it was
100%. Couldn't agree with you more. Buhle, your thoughts?
In this house we love good acting. We love good writing.
Come on, somebody.
We also very specifically, we love good child actors. I
Come on.
really appreciated how
Mm-hmm.
good those young actors were.
Mm.
I appreciated the casting, like the younger versions of the characters were so good, especially the person who played the younger Carrie. Unfortunately, I
Listen,
can't remember.
she is Kerry
Oh,
But
Washington.
she was.
she did so well. I really, really enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
seeing that. But yeah, the biggest thing was watching a drama and not knowing what's coming next, which is a new
Mm-hmm.
experience for someone who watches as much TV as I do. I was like,
Mm.
whoa, what is going on? What is going on? Yeah, so I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. I would
Mm-hmm.
agree with the whole, it was unpredictable. Like, absolutely. I would have never thought that, Carrie was actually a surrogate. No, that was
Mm-hmm.
never like my thoughts at all. So, wow
Mm.
factor definitely there. I agree with both of y'all. My next question is, what do you guys think about, and anyone can answer here, what do you guys think about the name of this series in relation to basically the storyline?
I want to jump in. I think it fitted so well because, like, when you think about little, like, literally little fires everywhere turns into a big fire. And when you look at Reese's family, I forget her name, Maddie's, no, wrong series. What's her name in this show?
Elaine. I think it's Elaine.
Elaine's family. um, each individual kid had drama. Like they were each family member had their own little fire going on, which like turned
Mm.
into a literal fire at the end of the series. Like it was just
Mm.
it's like even the way the production was of I think the last two episodes when they were setting fire to the house and they're starting with one room. So it was one child's room, then the next child's room, then the next child, and then it was just boom. So I think it fit the storyline really, really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally agree. I think also like with the idea that there were different themes that were coming in, and then how those themes interacted resulted in this big fire. Like
Mm-hmm.
themes of race, themes of parenting, themes of class as well. Like and how all those things intersected and resulted in this big fire. But definitely agree with like the different family members having a you know they have their own things going
Mm-hmm.
on, and also how that like came together for the fire. Yeah.
That was
Mm-hmm.
brilliant. Thanks, guys. And Busha, you just like jumped the gun over there, which I love. It's like you were jumping into my mind, talking about the themes. And I think that this series is fantastic in that they covered a lot of themes. So many themes. Just like you said, there was themes of classism, racism, parenting, this idea of biological versus adoptive parenting, poverty, postpartum depression, having kids versus following your dreams and your career. There was so
Mm.
many themes that I think they tackled also well. So, what would you say for you? What was the theme you found to be most, intriguing or most interesting to you? We can start with you, Buhle.
I mean, yeah, as you know, I'm an aspiring parent. Not anytime soon though, but like
Let's make it clear.
maybe in 20 years, 30 years, who knows. Anyways, as an aspiring parent, I really like think about that stuff a lot. And this show brought up such a big theme for me,
Yep.
which is kind of like, when parents try and live through their kids, when
Mm,
they're projecting, because I saw that so much with Reese's character, Elaine, and her eldest daughter, like, um, and also with the youngest daughter as well. And so how that same kind of parenting impacted them in different ways. But in the end,
Mm-hmm.
both of the daughters couldn't live up to the standard and couldn't fulfill the dreams that she had for herself because those were her dreams. And I also felt the same way about Carrie, Carrie and her parenting. She was also kind of giving a parenting that served her, and not really a parenting that served her child. Um, and I just, I thought about how hurt her daughter was when she was like, we have literally been living in squalor. Okay, I mean, maybe not squalor, but she was like, we've been living such a rough life when you could have made things easier. And so she thinks that she's created this like partnership dynamic between her and her daughter. But the truth is, she's still the one, like, you know, she's still the one leading and in control. Her daughter doesn't really feel free to engage with her in the way that she thinks she can. So it just really made me think about, about parenting and the project of parenting and how to be a parent that is like, you know, that has the child's development at the core and not like realizing your dream for your child. So I thought this show really really illuminated that for me.
And just all types of parenting as well, even the storyline with I'm forgetting the Asian lady's name. And Bibi, yes, Bibi, and her style of parenting, and just how sometimes people will discredit you as a parent just because you can't afford to have you can't afford to give your child the best life, and how they used Elaine's best friend to kind of like discredit that parenting, and just because they have the house, they have the money, they have the resources, then it like kind of discredits the fact that Bibi could be a good mom. I think that there were 4 different types of moms on the show that they really illuminated, and it was completely different experiences, and everybody's interaction with each other was really based on themselves as well. Just thinking about the reason why Mia's character felt so moved to help Bibi is because of that idea that, you know, this is my child, I should be able to do anything for my child, but she didn't do that for her child. It was just like such an interesting dynamic between them all. So the parenting on this show really.
I also think how Elaine was mothered, like you seeing that she's becoming her own mother. Like her mother had a plan for her, you know, after she finished in college. There was an apartment waiting for her. There was a job waiting for her at the newspaper. It was like, cool, follow these steps and you'll gain success. And she was doing the same for her eldest daughter. But Izzy was like, not about that life. She's like, that's not for me.
It's not.
Yeah, which is very interesting.
Absolutely. And you, MT, which theme would you say really stuck out to you? Or is it the same theme?
I think similar, like motherhood specifically for me was what stuck out to me, but also womanhood, I guess, in a way of seeing like the coming of age of all the 3 daughters. So what Lexi, Pearl, and Izzy, and how they were going within their own sexuality. So Pearl and what's his name?
Trip.
Forget his name. Trip. And just like her seeing sex, for example, like just seeing her mom just taking it and owning it, and if she wanted whoever, and thinking she could do the same thing with her first time, and seeing how that dynamic, how that impacted her when it didn't turn out the way that she thought it would turn out. Seeing what, like working moms, so moms who were, Elena's, where she was an aspiring woman to like had a career, had a plan, this is what she wanted to do, and seeing how as each child came into her life, how she felt impacted by it, and especially with Izzy, feeling like the birth of Izzy is what halted everything, and then that impacted the way her relationship with Izzy was. So I think womanhood was very clear, but I think my ultimate one was seeing the race dynamics. So seeing how
you just stole my one.
Embedded. Okay, I'll just talk a little bit about it, and then you
go ahead.
But Black women and white women, how that, it was interesting seeing like the very first interaction with Elena and Mia, where Elena comes off as this like she's a stereotypical white woman. She thinks that she's very caring and she wants to help, but she has all these like implicit biases and everything, just assuming that Mia and Pearl did not have money, and already like having all of these embedded things of Mia, that if the scene where Mia tells Elena that she's working as at the front desk at some art gallery or whatever, and Elena automatically assumes that she doesn't have the means to get a good job. But Mia's like, no, I'm trying to create a relationship with the gallery owner so I can put my art in there. And then you see the white guilt play in and being like, oh, I'm sorry, here's a job, you can be my maid or house manager, or you know what, actually you can stay at the apartment, and all of this stuff. Just seeing that white guilt coming into play, and Mia's relationship with what's her name, Lexi. So that scene at the table when Lexi just had the abortion is sitting at a table asking her if what she did was okay. That was my favorite scene of the whole thing. Like, I aspire to be as straightforward and not like cuddle feelings. Like, she cared for her, but she was also like, you know what you did was wrong. What you did to my daughter was wrong.
Yeah.
You have privilege. You as a white woman have privilege, and you came to us and you just take. So I just liked that theme subtly put throughout the whole series. It didn't dominate the whole series, but there was definitely that undertone of like, this is what it is.
I agree with that 100%. They were like micro, like aggressions, the things that we feel to be macro, but it really is so subtle. It's so like undertone. You wouldn't, even just the way that the sort of like the way they also showed the relationship between Elaine's best friend and Bibi, and the microaggression there between, you know, this white lady and this Asian woman, and just like, you know, just those micro things that just slip in there. It was, I think they did an excellent job of not making it too obvious, because these are the things that we experience all the time. It's like these tiny little things, but we see it for what it is. And the thing is, they might not see what it is. And then again, that white guilt that you were talking about, like, oh, like I made a mistake. It's like malfunctioning. It's like, you know what I mean? So absolutely, I love that one. But I also think, for me, the theme of it wasn't necessarily a theme, but also the storyline of the surrogacy, that for me was actually very interesting. It was something I just didn't see coming. And for me, just those scenes in the train, I legit thought, for me, that character is Jackson Avery, because he's from Grey's Anatomy. That's who I know him as. I don't know him as anybody else. Oh, Jackson Avery, I thought like he raped her or something. Like, he looked so creepy on the bus. Like, and then when they like spelled it out, I'm just like, oh damn, like he's just, you know, a person who wants a child. He's just a guy who wants a kid. You know, he's got his queen at home. He just wants a kid. So I loved that storyline. So yeah, I love it, guys.
Just
and
one thing about what you were saying, I think there was also a bit of a critique of white womanhood, and this like fake allyship. It was just really interesting how like, you know, she finds out that the reference that she gave is not a good one. And in a normal circumstance, like, well, then this person can't work in my home. But because there is no like a legitimate relationship or a real engagement, it's all performative. It's like, well, I don't want to seem like I'm doing something wrong. But if there was a genuine work that was happening there, it would be so easy to be like, you can't work in my house because I can't verify
who you are.
And it's like, it's so basic. Yeah. But I just thought that was an interesting thing that they did there.
Absolutely. And just like speaking on these different topics that they tackled, how well do you guys feel like they tackled each of these topics? Speaking of all these themes, do you guys think they did an excellent job? Are there certain things where they could have improved on it? I mean, mind you, we are hoping there'll be a second season. What do you think about how they tackled these different themes?
I'm not looking. I think the second season, I think if it just ended and they're like, this is it, we're not doing it again, I'll be content. I think I'll be curious I'll be a bit nervous about what the second season would look like. If the second season was more of like the kids grown up and how their life is now maybe that would be an interesting way to look at it. But I think it was interesting seeing like Pearl's character, for example. Her mom is this like straightforward, I do what I want to do, I'll question race and all of that stuff. But seeing Pearl not, you'd assume that Pearl will have the same thing. Like Pearl will look at Lexi and be like, actually, what you're doing is shady.
Yeah.
Your little phrases that you say is a little blah 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 blah. But Pearl is not like that, and I think that's what made it more realistic or normal, because she is a 14, 15, however old she is, girl dealing with like liking this one guy, having friends with this one guy, dealing with moving a lot and all of that stuff. So there's already so much going on. And I think it made it, at first I was like, hey, like, why did they make Pearl's character like this? But now when I was like looking back after the season being like, well, she's a normal kid. Like I wasn't as woke as I am now. I didn't understand a lot of things as I do now. But they still brought that socially aware Black kid in Lexi's boyfriend, who I forget his name. So it was an
do you
interesting...
disagree? Do you disagree with it?
I mean, Leggy was still the same person when they started dating, right? She didn't magically become,
True.
you know. There was also like a thing of, oh, there's another person here. Maybe he felt he can finally like talk about what's going on in this family. But some of it it was just a little fishy to me. Like he suddenly remembered that he was Black. Like,
And also, why if it bothered him so much, then why didn't he just leave? If she was so problematic, like.
But you see, so that's the thing with Pearl and him, that there are benefits to buying into it, right? Like he gets to be dating the head cheerleader, she gets to be going to parties with the cool kids. Even though like a critical like analysis of it is they're still not really agents in that space. They still are benefiting from proximity. So they're just like, I don't know, I got a nice dress, so you know, sometimes they just wanna take their work coat off and be like, okay, time to
And I think also for Pearl, she wanted to get closer to Trip. So it was, but the thing I'd also like to say about the boyfriend is I wish they could speak more about how their relationship started. Because I don't know if he walked in and maybe she was fine and then there was like small things, because like even throughout her character there would be like slips that she would say, not even slips, there would just be like phrases that she'll throw out and we're all just like, how do you...
I mean, I don't know, because she even said, you know, I told Trip he must have had like a white parent because I saw his hair, and then I was like, you know what the underlying thing you're saying is, whether or not you're right.
There's no saving Lexi.
The underlying thing you're saying there. So that was before Pearl was even a gal in the town.
This is true.
Lexi was who she is. But maybe she will change. I think the thing I'm not sure, I'm not satisfied with how they dealt with this, is the adoptive mother versus biological mother thing. It felt like such a big topic, and it was almost a side plot to move Elena and Mia's stories along. And I don't know, I don't know what I needed, but I don't think I got enough. And I'm not sure about how they've depicted Evie as well. Like,
do you mean you wanted? Did you want more from the storyline? That storyline specifically?
I think perhaps it just needed more respect, or I don't have the word for it.
But maybe they're trying to show that this is how it is in real life. I don't know.
I don't know. I think yeah. I think they depicted this adoptive mother as well in a specific way, which, you know, it is what it is. That's probably the kind of person that she was. And the biological mother, we didn't get a lot of nuance besides this thing that happened to her, like this thing that she couldn't take care of her baby. But I understand you have to pick a plot for a series, and that's what it is.
Mhm.
But I agree with Mtende. I'm okay with one season.
Really?
I think it ended well. I don't think there's a satisfying direction they can take it for me. Like I like not knowing what happens when they arrive at the real parents. I don't know how to
Yeah. Mia's
surrogate
parents.
parents, Mia's
So
Pearl's
you mean
parents.
to tell me you guys don't want to find out firstly what happens to Izzy, where she lands. Secondly, how the reunion is. Now these grandparents get to technically meet their granddaughter. The actual surrogate parent. Y'all don't want to see none of that?
I'm good.
I don't think there's a satisfying like thing they could do.
How would you want to see it? How would you want to see it play out?
Yeah,
Maybe.
tell us.
I don't usually have like expectations for series, but I'm always here like if a first season was really good, I'm like, okay, let's develop this. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens to the house. I want to see what happens between Elaine and her husband. I want to see what happens to this new Jackson and his wife. I want to see that interaction, whether they will be okay with Mia stealing their baby. Is Mia gonna get arrested? Don't you want to see none of that?
I'm good, love.
Well,
Enjoy.
the thing that you brought up was another thing that I was unsettled about was Elena's relationship with her husband. I think there was such like, yes, Elena is problematic and she has so many, like her and her Izzy's relationship was just, I'm not saving her at any means. But the way that they depicted it was that he was doing the best he can as a dad. And I don't think so. You don't see him hanging around with the kids. He's off to work. And
But remember, this might just be how men are. Like at the end of the day, he's going to work. No, guys, let's be honest. In the 90s, no, guys, it's only now when we're coming out with men are trash that they are, at least a little bit decent. But back in the
But
day,
they were always trash. We need to see how they're trash. Because there's that little scene of that Playboy magazine in his thing. So you just get this glimpse like, oh, okay, he's doing
because
these things,
we're
and
only
then
having sex on Tuesday and Thursday or whatever the days were. He needs to be satisfied in another way.
let's like unpack. Because I mean, there's these like charged scenes, like when he was mowing the lawn, and then he comes up to what's Mia's thing, and it's like he wants something more, and she's just like, whatever. So I just like want to get deeper into like his thing, like what is going on. Like I did think, because how other series work out, I was like, I hope they don't have an affair because I feel like that's the route. Like they kept on throwing these like hints, and I was like, please don't let this be an affair, please don't. And they didn't, and I was like really impressed. I thought so because there was like that scene with the lawnmower, and then she shut him down. There was that comment at the party where the friend was like, if that was my housekeeper or my whatever he said. The first time he met her, he was just staring at her, and he just didn't like. He lost all function of speaking. So there were these like weird
hints,
presence towards his. I don't know.
Okay, so you guys are just not here for a second season.
I
mean, if it comes out, I'll watch it.
It's fine.
Why are we friends? I'm starting to, question our friendship at
no,
this
girl,
point.
Like not everything needs 5 seasons in this daily bread, okay? Sometimes one is it.
Listen, I'm going to stop this recording. Cut. It's a wrap. Okay, no, it's fine. Okay, last question is, who's your favorite character and why? Even if it's a bad person.
You're going to have to mark me absent.
What?
Let me just look at that cast list.
Let me think.
Like pulled up because I'm trying to.
Is there no one? Absolutely no one? Maybe Mia's brother? Is there just?
There was just like, Shay, my favorite character is that mom who didn't get a child because Mia decided she's not about it. That's my favorite character.
Oh, Jackson's wife.
Oh my, yeah.
You only had like 3 lines in that whole series.
She answered the phone, said, hello, Mia, is it you? Yo, stole it. It's her.
Wow.
And you, MT, no favorite character?
I like scenes of it. So I liked Mia's scene with Lexi. I liked that interaction.
And Mia with Izzy
Yes.
Yes.
after the doll thing.
Yes. So I like this. Mia is a very complex character, so I can't say she's my favorite. There are things that I don't know.
Your ethics don't align with hers.
Yes, but also I don't know. There's just something about her that is just I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever like call up and be like, "Hey, girl, let's meet up for coffee." It'll be like,
wow, guys, no one.
She feels to me. Mia feels like, and this is how she and Elena are similar. Like she has like a self-righteousness in that she thinks the way that she's planned her life makes her good. Like Elena thinks that because she's ticked all the boxes, and Mia thinks that because she goes where the wind takes her, and she's artsy.
Then she's righteous about that.
And I yeah, I don't like it.
To a certain extent, it's so much of their life experiences that have shaped them to be the way they is. I think that had Mia's person not died, or also had her brother not I think her brother's death, and then her lady lecturer friend, which I also had a huge and then
red flag,
a whole lecturer.
Red flags everywhere.
A whole lecturer with a whole student. Surely this
is drugs being put into it as well. And also her mom had kicked her out of the house. It was so many.
So I think with her, that's what shaped her experiences. And then with Elaine, everything that she's been through, and her having kid after kid after kid after kid, that shaped the experiences. But yeah, you see, now I'm doubting.
Who's your favorite character?
Yeah, tell us.
I have people, not favorite characters per se.
We won't judge you, ma'am. We won't judge you.
Listen,
just say it with your chest.
I think
Elena's your favorite character, isn't it? Yeah, I knew it.
I think Reese acted the hell out of that character. She is Karen. That's a Karen. That's a Karen right there. She defined Karens for anybody who was confused about what a Karen looks like or how a Karen looks. That's her. I think she did a stellar job. She acted the hell out of that character.
I'll give it.
Yeah, her problematicness, just everything about her, even though she is the villain in this sense. I loved it. I was like, yeah, this justifies why I don't like the Karens in this world. This is a justification.
You know what? Actually, I think this discomfort we're feeling is because it's really well written, and I don't think there is a villain per se, because everyone in this show is written with so much nuance.
Absolutely.
That no one is outright a hero. Everyone is a bit shaky. I mean, I don't know. In the comments, you can say if there's someone who's definitely not wrong in the story, but
let us know.
Everyone,
there you go.
Everybody is wrong. Even
if we go through it, Trip
wrong.
is just he's his job, and then Lip. What he did to his brother was absolute trash. Moody, feeling like Pearl was his because he was a nice kid.
He was entitled, and his name describes himself.
Nice boy, TM. Wow.
He is. He's a very moody person.
He started off as just sweet, and then his face and everything about him just turned so dark. And I was like, he's the type of person. Yeah. Okay, let me not finish that sentence. But
no,
anyway.
Yeah.
Please, PG guys.
I'm just saying.
Let's keep it kosher.
He's scary.
Let's keep it kosher.
Yeah.
Next.
Definitely.
Mia,
Lexi, we know
Leggy.
Lexi. We've said.
She's problematic. Period.
Yeah.
Izzy,
She as well. Like, I mean,
She's
she's
just
a teenager, but
confused. She's a
the way
confused.
she's coming
you know,
about,
I can't expect teenagers to be people that communicate well, but it sometimes feels like a lot of her problems could have been solved by communicating.
100%.
But instead, it's like, I am not your puppet. Or it's
it's like
like,
shock
burning
value.
my hair.
And also, then she didn't bath the next day. So
Okay, Sissy. Okay,
Wow.
you're trying to start a race war, and I'm
I'm
not gonna
just
have it.
saying. I'm just saying. Like that thing was there the next morning. So anyway,
It
next
was a
character.
very permanent. So Mia, not Mia. We're still going with the whatever that's the white family. So we've got the dad.
The
I
dad.
didn't care
The
for
dad.
the dad. I have no.
Also, chief, not communicator. He knew exactly what was going on with Izzy, and so even though he's like, lay off Izzy, he's like not actually communicating with his wife and saying, you're not
Absolutely.
treating
What kind of
our
relationship
daughter
is that?
well.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Cool, Elena. I mean, like we're not talking about
Karen.
acting. We're just talking about
Yeah,
as
the character.
You said Karen. Karen
Karen.
is the reason. Yes.
yes. Okay, let's move to Mia. Mia has her complexities. She has her control. She has yes. That's Mia.
Yeah.
We've got Pearl.
Pearl was twirling. She was
She's
twirling for them. Yes, she was there. Yeah, you can use my story. It's fine. Oh,
What
don't
is
wanna
that
see it.
voice?
I'm posh spice. Yeah.
Manipulation. I mean, knowing that Elena could help her out and being like, so I have this
Yes.
paper, letter.
I
Can
know
you
you're
just
such a good writer, and I just want to get to read it. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100. Okay, so that's them. And then we've got Elena's friends, the best friend,
Oh.
and the dad, which is also just
Shaky business there. Yeah, they basically were like
that's it.
saying that she doesn't deserve to be a mom because
Yeah.
she can't afford it.
What is that?
Yeah.
Like that's mm-mm. Mm-mm. Anyway, so
Because,
who else
I
has
mean-
substance?
There's
No.
not, maybe the brother, but he died so early we couldn't suss him out.
He didn't drive safely. I'm kidding. I don't know if the culture.
Whoa! Cut the cameras. We're done. Thank you, people. Thanks for watching. Because
He didn't drive correctly. Wow.
and then it was the
Arrival
surrogate
line.
parents and Mia's parents. We don't know too
I mean,
much.
it was weird.
don't have
Jackson was
enough.
weird to just like stalk this girl on the bus, on the train, and be like, "You look like my wife. Have my kids." I don't know. It was just
Creep
Big
level
light skin energy.
100.
light skin.
Can't deal.
I
Anyway,
mean,
guys,
it is.
we should wrap this up because wow, Zoom's gonna cut me.
Okay.
Who knows?
Cool.
And guys, thank you so much for joining me on this conversation. For anybody who hasn't
Thanks for
watched
having
No
us.
Fires Everywhere, go and watch it, guys. It's an incredible series. Also,
Mhm.
don't forget, do the damn things like subscribe, comment, do all those things. Let's keep this conversation going on Instagram as well.
Mhm.
And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks, MT. Thanks, Buhle.
Aw.
Bye.